I am Travis,
Hey, everybody.
and we are watching Swerve in the ring right now.
Talking to old Tony.
He's the guy that gets close enough, but just can't get close. Can't get all the way there. And I gotta settle for this.
What is this?
Well, he should be a champion, but they decided to keep it on just Joe, which is weird as fuck to me, but I'm not in charge. He's gonna tell us something. Something about Sunday felt just a little different. Not a lot different, just kind of different. But something was a little different. What was the different?
Different. Pico's in the shop.
Hey, people.
Hi,
What
Pico.
is up? Sorry we're late.
He says, yo. Captain. Hiya. Hello.
Yeah, people were rooting for you. Of course we did.
We wanted you to win and make history.
I'm sure it has something to do with the color of his skin, his complexion. Would be my guess. Because he would be the first. Because Samoa Joe's the first Samoan to ever have it. Jericho's the first white man to ever have it.
He's coming for him. He's going to get him.
I don't think we've had a Mexican. Have we? I don't think so. So no Mexicans or blacks have been champion. Swerve's house! Whose damn house is it?
Swerve's damn house.
A lot of people want to know. But it sounds like it's Swerve's damn house.
Sorry. My microphone was on me. I bet you can hear me. Yelling.
Oh.
Got it.
Why are you yelling?
That Joe guy's coming out.
Here he comes. He's going to lose the belt right now. Or will that be on April? Is he going to do it on the April 21st show? So they can sell tickets one-on-one this time.
Tickets.
If that cowboy shows up right now, I'm not going to be happy.
Ugh, right? Ugh. People's like, never mind. Why are you never minding? What happened? Why are you never minding us? Don't you never mind
Very good
me.
album. Never mind. Remember who sang that one?
Bush?
Arguably the greatest album ever released. Arguably.
Nirvana.
I'm not going to say it is, because there's some that are probably better. I'm just saying that arguably.
Totally in the argues. I don't think he should be allowed. Feels like I had some first world issues, but we Gucci now. What kind of first world issues did you have? I'm kind of curious to know what it was.
Pretty much every issue that we have is a first world issue.
My internet's not working.
Right?
No, it's
forgive me. I didn't have power on Saturday morning for 5 hours. There's people are like, you have power? Haha, you'll never keep your promise, Swerve.
Not the promises. People. The breaker went out when both the air fryer and the microwave was working. Oops.
Oh, it was power? That's even funnier.
Yeah. His breaker went out because he was using 2 electronic appliances at the same time.
On the same?
Microwaves take up a lot.
Yeah, they're supposed to be plugged into a 20 amp breaker, by the way.
Yeah.
And most people put them on the 50.
And I don't think an air fryer needs to be, but it could too. I don't know much about them.
They're going to bring out Roman Reigns. Did you hear that?
Oh my God, what?
Where is he?
Is he in his pocket?
I don't know where. They said they're going to glance at a real world champion.
Wow. Promises they can't even keep. Feels like issue resolved. Robbie's in the chat as well. Hey, Robbie, good to see you tonight.
Gunna.
Glad you could make it. It says, what up, what up? Sophie in the chat says, hi, congrats to Bull and Karl Cano for finally getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Figula says, I just want my crinkle cuts. Damn it. I don't blame you. Are you having chicky nuggets too with the crinkle cuts?
Who's it going to be?
Would it matter?
Well, we're live on TV. Weird if I was just like,
oh my God, Jalika.
It's like,
is that your heart? Because my heart's right there.
It's on that, what's that show called with Gloria?
Modern Family?
Yeah. The Gloria's son.
Mm.
When they're driving in the car and he's with the older cousin that he loves. The kind of slutty one or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they're driving and he's like, I didn't feel nothing. Well, I did feel something, but she's just like, oh my God, wait.
You sicko face.
Here comes Wardlow, baby. So really, they passed on Wardlow all this time. This is ridiculous. So Wardlow was the hottest thing in wrestling. They passed on him. Now Swerve's getting hot, and they're like, hey, Wardlow's coming.
Ew.
Are they going to put the title on Wardlow instead of Swerve?
Oh, God. If they do, that's fucked up. Even more. Ugh. Where I was like, can you dry your boxers in a microwave? You know, if you watch the movie Uncle Buck, you can dry a lot of clothes in the microwave.
Can you really, though?
I don't know.
Like it would just burn them. But...
I don't know. He takes them out and, like, tosses them around and puts them back in. I saw him with socks, especially.
I guess they wouldn't.
I have no idea. Vindicator says, what's going on? Gabville, not much. Vin, how are you doing?
Woot woot. There he is, Wardlow.
Like,
going to be inserted into that match. If I could talk, insert it. There it is.
Sophie says the next MLB The Show game you could play as a woman in Major League Baseball.
I heard they're doing quite a few little different tweaks to it.
And boycott.
Don't be weird.
No, I'm not playing MLB baseball anymore. And I'm not watching it.
First of all, I don't think you could be a woman in the league.
Well, they better.
But they did the women's league, they did the Negro League, and they did the...
Well, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. That's
if they actually put those leagues in there, then I'm cool with it.
That's what it is.
But if they're like making it so you could play as a woman on the men's Major League Baseball team, fuck that.
I wonder if you like pitch as fast as them, like.
And if so, they better put on them the fucking
they throw a 70-mile-an-hour
the new jerseys and shit that they have.
The see-through shit.
They better fucking put that shit on those bitches. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Ew, gross. What? Who made you boss?
Swerve wants everything now. He's such part of the TikTok generation.
Yeah. I want it right now. Oh, we make the rules. No, now.
Where's O'Reilly?
Thank you, Tony.
Uh-oh.
Tony Schiavone's got the butts. It's happening now. Yay!
Joe doesn't want it either.
Joe's like,
so you have 3 of the 4 don't want it, and they're going to have it anyways? That's what's wrong with Tony Khan, Triple H, whatever you want to call him. And Aubrey's going to be our referee, which will be fantastic.
The Vindicator says, so what did you guys think about Revolution and Sting match and Osprey match?
It was all good. I liked the Osprey match.
Osprey?
I definitely...
Osprey?
I definitely found a respect for, what's his name
Will?
there? Oh, his opponent,
Takeshita? Now we're not going to call him Take a Shit anymore because he actually can wrestle.
I'd call him that. I just didn't know. No, like literally, Like, I didn't realize he was that good. That dude could be in WWE. Just say. All right, well, we are underway. Right now we got Samoa Joe in there with somebody named Taven.
Oh, and those weirdo guys from that place that people like, and I don't.
Oh, what's that guy's name again? The one that's getting
Fish?
slapped?
O'Reilly.
No, none of those.
Strong.
No. None of those guys are in this. What
I
are you
don't know who
talking
these
about?
people are.
Bennett. Mike Bennett.
You on crack, buddy? You look like you might be.
He doesn't do drugs. Where would he get crack?
Sure? I don't know.
He doesn't even go outside.
He probably gets it from Wellington. He goes outside.
True.
He brings it in. Did you get it from him? Did you get the crack from the dog?
Where did you learn to smoke crack? Learned it from watching you. Like, I don't do crack. But I just saw it on a commercial.
Pico says, I don't know. Did you not have a normal dryer, Ravi? Vindicator's like, play as yourself, Sophie, so you can play with yourself. Ew. And Ravi says, LO Cola, I guess you tried it. And Pico's like, always curious. Does the UK have coin-op laundry places and dry cleaning? Why wouldn't they? It makes sense. Most of them barely have washers or dryers in their homes. Most of them don't even have dryers.
So I used to listen to the sporting news all the time. Morning news radio, right? And it was our radio station for sports here.
Okay.
It's now ESPN, but in the early 2000s it was. And I called all the time. I mean, literally, they knew my name when I'd call.
They're like, oh, we got Travis on the line again.
Travis Botello. I won a refrigerator from him. And my book, the first book I ever read, that Giants book that's downstairs, I won that on that radio.
Nice.
That was answering questions about Shaq and Kobe. The answer was either Shaq or Kobe, and they would give you something.
Oh.
Like, who could speak 2 languages? Like, well, Kobe, you know. Anyways, because I knew he grew up overseas.
Right.
So I won that because I got all 10 questions right. And then that put me in the drawing, and at the end of that year, it was for a fridge, and there was only 12 of us in the drawing, and I won that. So I won a fridge. Anyways. Used to call all the time. Well, Sophie just reminded me of it. So the argument at the time was how good Barry Bonds was because it was happening live. Like, this is before he retired. And he was on his way to break the record for home runs.
Right.
And people would always argue that Ruth was better. And so my argument was always, how is Ruth better when he didn't play against blacks? Because the Negro leagues were at that time and they didn't allow it.
Right.
And so... And it had nothing to do with that, right? Like, it's not like, oh, well, they didn't let... that's not what I was doing. What I was saying is... Right? So, like, I'd be on the radio. So it was a little bit more articulate. But how can he be the best when he's not playing against...
all of the best players.
Any Latin America players.
Right.
Which is 50% of the league now.
Right.
And no blacks, which is... But
right.
It's not a big number anyways.
But during his time, they had the Negro Leagues.
They absolutely had them.
And they had fabulous fucking players on those teams. I mean, some great fucking players.
And so my argument was always, well, if they all played together, would he still be the best? And then they would say, well, their league wasn't as organized. And I'm like,
bullshit.
Are you saying that they shouldn't have played Major League Baseball because they weren't organized? Like, I could easily corner them.
Well, yeah, that's weird.
And they're always like, I can't answer this question because they backed me in a corner. And it's live. It's syndicated. Like, this is the sporting news radio. Remember I used to get the magazine? Sporting News?
Yeah.
Anyways. But it was true. It's like, how can he possibly be the greatest when he's not facing the greatest? He's not facing the greatest pitchers. There were great black pitchers.
Yeah, there were.
There was by the way, there was
other great black
there
hitters.
Was Latin leagues going on at the same time.
That's
too.
True.
We don't hear about that as much, but there was several of them. But anyways,
that's true.
It's like, come on. Like,
that's funny.
And then if they did play in Major League Baseball, it would have been more organized, and they would have been trained just like the major leaguers at the time. And I'm like, just look at Ruth. Don't get me going. You cannot tell me that dude was a peak athlete. I've seen pictures of him. I know what he looks like.
Right. Sophie says WWE has offered Paul Heyman to be inducted in the Hall of Fame in previous years, and he turned them down. Walter is in the chat, says, hey, Travis, hi, Daphne, AEW Dynamite in Duluth, Georgia. I'm not there. Why? Why aren't you in Duluth? Why aren't you there?
Duluth.
Or
Isn't that
Duluth?
a pair of pants?
Duluth,
Duluth.
Georgia? I don't know. It's something Georgia. Sammy Guevara got suspended. Oh, no. What did he do wrong?
What did he do?
Sophie says it will be interesting who else will get inducted. Pico says my favorite part of Uncle Buck are when the kids wake up and pancakes. Oh, for the boy's birthday, yeah.
Where did he get the spatula? That's what I always.
It wasn't a spatula. It was literally a snow shovel.
Oh,
it's a metal snow shovel.
It's a metal snow shovel.
What I like is when they first wake up and he's first there, and he comes downstairs and he's like, "Who's this guy cooking our garbage?" Because it smells so bad. Whatever he's cooking for breakfast, he's cooking our garbage.
And it's it's Macaulay Culkin when he was cute.
Yeah, when he was Walter says Tony Schiavone and Taz and Excalibur ringside. Sophie says AEW does have a pay-per-view in May. Wonder when they are going to schedule that with AEW inducting a pay-per-view in April. You mean WWE has one? I don't know what you're saying.
What are you saying? You're saying AEW has one in May too?
AEW does have a pay-per-view in May. Wonder when they are going to schedule that with AEW introducing a pay-per-view in April.
So WWE.
Piccolo says, oh no, not the coexist. Walter says, I like the new AEW entrance. And Vindicator says, Takeshita in WWE is a step down for him. LOL. Literally nobody is that good in that company. Maybe Gunther comes the closest. Walter says, I went to Raw last year, WWE, but AEW, I will just watch on TV.
Swerve just ended it.
Good for him.
They just beat the Ring of Honor champions like they were nothing.
As they should, but not.
It's just another
bad... I understand.
It was another bad idea. It just shows that your Ring of Honor champions suck.
Wow, they're tag team champions.
And I get it. These two are elite. But there again, it's a Vince McMahon move, this one. Let's put two singles wrestlers that don't like each other together.
Wardlow's like, I'm gonna come down, beat
Get Wardlow down in there.
He's like, I look funny with my black eye and my weird hairdo I've got going on now.
Right. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Joe's just like Randy.
Walter says, I went to Raw last year, WWE, but AEW, I will just watch on TV. Oh.
I'd go to an AEW show.
Wardlow's over there like, yeah, baby. Choke him out. He's like, Peck Papa Love back here. He ripped off his shirt and everything. What a sicko. He's back there all loving it. Ew.
He's like, get a man that can choke you right. I mean, treat you right.
Pickle's like, this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs, right? Sophie says TKO said that Vince will never come back to the WWE, so the fans that have been worried that he will be back don't have to worry about that. What? Oh, you know, they said that today, but tomorrow's another day.
Well, plus, who cares? Like, I mean, he's old.
Walter says, okay, at 9:05, I'm going. I'll be here Monday for Raw. Friday, I'm busy. Oh, man, you're busy. What are you busy doing? You going to go see a movie? Vindicator says, Heyman going into the Hall is the only thing I respect about WWE this year.
Really? Not a huge Heyman fan. I mean, I liked when he was Paulie Dangerously, but...
Chris has been learning how to cook my meat. Been marinating my ribeye steak and fajitas for like 2 days. Today I ate my fajitas with rice and beans, pico, the whole plate. It was better than a restaurant. Yeah?
I was listening to what's his name? Ryback talk about him also. Ryback doesn't like him either.
Paul Heyman.
And I could see why AJ Styles doesn't like it. And it just makes sense. And like everything that people say about him. Mm-hmm. It would be different if they like whispered about it and then there was like everybody talked good about him, but he is kind of like a piece of shit.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Walter's like, hey, Leopold Cat. He also says, hello, Travis from Sheboygan online too. Your dingo and the baby. Chris says the meat was so good and it ripped apart nicely, not tough and not that hard either. Yeah. Well, you're doing it with ribeyes too, dude. Do it with flank steak, man. Get a flank steak if you can and do it with that. And do your marinade like that. And it'll be even better. Sophie says Bull Nanko is another nice surprise in the hall. I don't know why it took WWE forever to induct him. Or induct her. Is it a her? Bull Nakano? Huh. Okay. Vindicator says, but yeah, new AEW pay-per-view is Dynasty, which is a hefty name to put on an event.
Boom.
So I guess it might be their version of Mania.
You just said that.
Walter says Lex Luger should be next in the Hall of Fame. Sophie says with this class of the WWE Hall of Fame so far, there are surprises. Vindicator says, I just hope now they can get rid of that god-awful Wrestle Dream event. It's still not as bad as Great Balls of Fire, but it's still got to go. I think they'll have it forever, Vin, just to make you upset.
What is that?
Wrestle Dream?
What is it?
The Wrestle Dream event? I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't remember in AEW what it is. We didn't do it. Sophie's like, about Miss Elizabeth. Harley's like, what's up? And Sophie says, do you think the WWE will induct the Nation of Domination this year? I don't really care, Sophie. We're not talking about WWE tonight.
It's weird. I mean, I don't know why you would, unless you're just trying to put The Rock in the Hall of Fame again.
Ugh.
That would be the only reason I would assume they would even try that. But there again, it's like the click. It's just putting the same guys in the Hall of Fame over and over and over.
Robbie says AEW, do they value who becomes a champ with who has any titles?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Tony has some sort of a plan.
Do they value who becomes a champ with who has any titles? They value them? Do they value who becomes a champ? No, I don't think they really value who becomes a champ in AEW most of the time. I mean, do they really value their champions in AEW? I mean, when you value a champion, like, how do you treat them? Like, when you value an actual champion, what do you do with them?
I guess my answer to that is it depends on your definition of it. Because in AEW, when they become champion, they're kind of done. That's the end.
Yeah, so is that valuing them? Is that really value? Are you placing a whole bunch of value on them?
Like Jericho was just in a promo thing with Hook, for fuck's sake. And then you've got Paige, who didn't even show up at that thing, and he was just in a triple threat match
for a fucking major title.
And he's a former
of
champion.
AEW championship.
Kenny Omega's not to be seen. We have no idea where he is.
So the exactly, like, what do you define as value? Because I look at it as like they don't value him worth a shit.
MJF lost the title. We haven't seen him since. I'm just saying, like,
even if he got injured,
once you become champion, it's over. Like, we don't see you anymore.
Vindicator.
Britt Baker, gone.
Right.
Riho, gone.
Vindicator has a different thing.
What's her
He's
name?
Like, yes, Robbie, the other company does not evidence Logan Paul. But they are valuing the championship, Vindicator, because they put it on somebody who goes everywhere.
Yeah, I seen him
fucking everywhere.
I seen him on a boxing match on Saturday.
He takes that thing with him everywhere. Do you know how much publicity and PR he's giving them by doing that?
He sleeps with it.
You don't understand. Like, AEW is so far behind when it comes to any of that stuff. It's pathetic. Value? They don't value their fucking... They hardly value their fucking wrestlers as it is. Very rarely do they actually value their wrestlers. It's evident in everything they do.
Who else has been a
What
champion?
they just did with their ROH champions that are tag titles that you guys say are so fabulous and fantastic.
He's gone. I'm trying to think of another champion that they've done
John
something
Moxley.
With.
He was champion forever, and now look what he does. He fucking basically jobs to everybody and is in the pocket of a tag team with fucking what's his butt.
Yeah, Claudio.
I mean, in all reality, the value isn't there. If you want to talk about value, the actual definition of value, I would have to say WWE isn't that fantastic, but at least they put some value.
Oh, there's two huge
on the people
announcements
they put
coming
the fucking
up.
Shit on. This fucking they don't.
Yeah, once you become champion, you get it for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, most of those title reigns lasted quite a while.
But is that really considered? I mean, that's it, right? Is your definition of value that they have it for a long period of time and job to everybody?
They don't defend it. They only wrestle a few times, which I don't care about. I like or like main event heavyweight championships anyway. But once they lose it, they're gone. They're done gone. Like, it's over. CM Punk, gone. Jericho, hanging out with Hook. Paige, gone tonight. MJF, gone. Who am I missing?
Moxley.
He's not necessarily gone, but he's a jobber.
I'm trying to think who else even had it besides them.
There's not a lot. There hasn't been very many champions.
Now
it's Joe, and Joe disappearing isn't necessarily a bad thing, but...
Vindicator says that, and Walter says Samoa Joe and Swerve won. Yeah, they did, over a tag team that has titles.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're champions. Riddle me that, and the value. Where's the fucking value? Explain it to me. I want to know. Ravi says, Vin, Logan Paul just PR. Sophie says, with TKO in charge of the WWE and UFC, who knows what band superstars will show up on TV for the first time in a while. Vindicator says, Logan, high-flying skills do impress me, though, but that's about it. The fact that he can hang with those guys in the wrestling ring and actually do wrestling moves, and he's a noob, is way better than any of the other fucking noobs I've seen. Once again, riddle me that.
Why is Brian Cage in a cape?
Because he's an animal. He likes his old wrestler guys. I don't know. Maybe he likes to wear
I've never
things
seen a
like
wrestler
that.
come out in a cape. Well, luchadors maybe. But does he have like Superman pants on? Like not Superman, but like superhero pants on? Like maybe Wolverine pants in the comic book.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about, Brian Cage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's what I'd be talking
Well, he is the Swolverine.
They're gonna have him lose again to Hook. It's so dumb.
Probably.
This right here, Triple H.
Vindicator says, but I can't stand part-timers as champions. Eagle's like, all right, Chris, I see you, homie. Well, it's like, good luck, Hook. Vindicator says, I don't like all these weird rainbow colors AEW is doing now. Reminds me much of NXT 2.0.
Yeah, they just started this last week, I think.
Eagle says, we cooking out like Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. There you go. It might be because of their Dynamite show that they're advertising for, too. It might be the pictures for it. Maybe they changed the colors for this particular one only. This show?
No, it's the AEW logo that they changed.
Oh.
Where it's more bright, vibrant.
Oh. Well, other things.
Yeah, it's not as weird as the NXT 2.0 stuff.
Walter says, seeing a movie Friday, Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh, I've seen that. I've seen the little preview things for it on WWE.
But I will tell you that is one thing that Vince did right, was the NXT that they had. Mm-hmm. When he changed it.
Yeah.
It might have looked stupid with all the weird colors and everything.
Right.
But he brought in athletes from other sports. He didn't necessarily care if they were wrestlers. He just wanted to breed his own wrestlers, basically.
Right.
And it's paying off huge now. Like, that's what you're seeing coming through.
Chris says Jericho always weasels his way into these rivalries. Does he? Oh. Sophie says, at the rate AEW is adding pay-per-views, is going to be like the old WWE days before the network, where fans have to decide what pay-per-views they want to miss or which ones they want to buy.
That's a fact. And obviously we'll be getting them all.
Picola says Ryback has absolutely no idea what Heyman's accolades were. Creating ECW, the SmackDown 6 storyline, all the one last stands he produced.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like it's just like Vince. It's just like Vince. You can be great at something, right? Like Vince McMahon, you can't take anything about wrestling away from him. He's just not the greatest human being, right? Like with the sexual charges, all that. It's the same thing with Paul Heyman, except for it's not sexual. It's how he treated other human beings. He's a shit human, great wrestling promoter. Vince, shit human, great wrestling guy.
But that's what I'm don't look at that. They don't look at that part. They don't look at the humanity behind the fake person that's out there on their TV.
Right.
The person that's behind the scene that's You know, they only see the persona of what that person portrays themselves as.
Right.
And that's why, and that is why I'm different, because I actually base whether I like that particular wrestler on some of the things they do from their personal life as well. Because that persona of you as a person portrays into what you are on wrestling TV.
Right. So I try to decompartmentalize it, right? Like, because I feel like if you're a good wrestler, I don't care what you do outside of the ring. It's none of my business.
Except for they're starting to. Now, it used to be that way, right? It used to be where it was separate. Their fucking personal shit was separate from their shit they did in the ring. But it's not that way anymore. They bring their fucking personal shit all over the fucking ring and shit it all over the place.
Right.
Now what?
Right. So what I'm talking about is, like, now, there are, right, like if somebody's molesting a child or something, right? I don't want them in the Hall of Fame. If somebody kills their family, I don't want them in the Hall of Fame. Right? Like, it makes sense. But wrestling-wise, Benoit deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But
I get it.
And so it's a tightrope because he does. But the problem is 3 people died that weekend. Only one had a choice.
Well, that's what I mean about bringing their personal life into wrestling.
What do you mean? I mean, he didn't bring anything personal.
His personal life affects what he as a wrestler in future, like what he is now. It affects everything that he is now.
I'm just saying that. I'll give you an example.
Was his real name Chris Benoit?
Yes.
Was he Chris Benoit in the ring?
Yeah.
Then he fucking brought his personal life into the fucking ring.
So Lawrence Taylor, who's really Lawrence Taylor, who played for the New York Giants, number 56, greatest linebacker of all time, had sex with a 15-year-old hooker and did cocaine off her body all the time. Should he not be in the Hall of Fame?
No, he shouldn't, according to the standards of how they pull it off on everybody else, doing drugs and shit.
But he is in the Hall of Fame, and not only that, he's celebrated in the NFL.
Did he
get in
the Hall of Fame before his personal shit came into play, or after?
No, this was during.
During his Hall of Fame stuff?
Right. And so then you come to it and say, okay, well, his excuse was he didn't know she was 15. Right? Like, oh, I didn't know she was 15. And then people are like, oh, if you didn't know, it's fine. And I'm a huge Karl Malone fan, don't get me wrong. I'm playing him out there right now. You know what I mean? But he had sex with like a 12-year-old and got her pregnant when he was in college. Yeah, that's a true story. He was in college. You know why they didn't press charges? Because they knew he was going to go to the NBA because he was so damn good. So the family's like, if we have his kid, he'll have to pay child support. And those people they didn't make as much, nowadays as they did back then, but they still made good money.
Yeah.
So, anyways, how's that, like, okay? And it's the same thing. So, if you want to get on Vince for doing Karl Malone and Benoit stuff outside of the ring, okay. But where are you going to draw the line?
Well, that's the problem. There's lines to draw.
Right? And we know, I mean, it's coming out, right? I mean, we know as much about the Vince stuff as we do about his daughter. So is Stephanie not going to go in the Hall of Fame? Or is it different because she's a woman?
I think they should renounce all of them that have ever involved in anything. And they should all be taken out of the Hall of Fame, including Triple H.
Right.
For all the shit that he did.
Right.
Because you know he did it.
And we know he's married to her, so we know that she didn't hide it from him.
And he was probably right there doing the same shit.
He's as guilty as she is because they hung around with each other. And when I say hang around with each other,
guilty by association.
Right. So if you're mad at Triple H, Stephanie, then you're mad at Triple H. And if you're mad at Vince, then you're mad at Stephanie. Then you're mad at Triple H.
Right. But I look at all that shit at this point as allegations. Where other stuff you're talking about are allegations. It was actually fucking proven. Chris Benoit killed his family.
Right. Right.
Those two basketball players, fucked girls. The football player did what he did.
Fact.
Like, those are facts. Those are proven things that happened.
Right.
Not just allegations.
Mike Tyson.
Fucking proven shit.
Mike Tyson, people think of him as the best ever. He's raped a woman.
He raped a woman,
went
beat
to
his
prison
wife.
for it, and people still, huge Mike Tyson fan, back then. But every time that he fights, every time he's on TV, every time somebody's like, oh, look, Mike Tyson's on AEW, there's a woman out there that he raped. Like, people, like, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, why doesn't it matter? Like, where are we drawing our lines of society? And then,
did that mean that he
used to beat the shit out of Robin Givens when he was married to her?
His wife beat the fucking shit out of him. There was no hiding that either.
I'm pretty sure he threw her through a window once, but I'm not 100 on that yet.
I don't know about that, but I know he beat the crap out of her.
Yeah, she was beat up pretty bad. He was just a different person. So, where does Vince fit in all this? Where does Stephanie fit in all this? Where does Triple H fit in all this?
All the other ones that are involved just as much, because more than half those guys during that same era, Shawn Michaels and all the other fuckers, are in the same boat. They did all the same shit. You guys can sit there and tell me, it's only Vince.
Look, he's got thumbtacks in his back.
It's all of them.
He's so big and strong that the thumbtacks just bent. They wouldn't even penetrate his back. They had to go in the lower back. His upper back, nothing on it.
I know. Was there like two? Like two
in
stuck
his lower
in him?
back.
Like, ew, that was so ouchy. He's like, oh no.
His thumbtacks like,
actually.
Oh no! Cage just got hook penetrated.
Oh no. Robbie earlier said,
It's
message
over.
retract. Sophie said Paul Heyman is the second greatest manager behind Bobby the Brain.
Enan.
Walter says still good matches tonight. Pico says agree to disagree. Sophie. Robbie says The Rock doesn't have the same pull as before.
You obviously don't know whoever said that doesn't know who Jim Cornette is.
Which part?
The
second greatest manager behind Bobby the Brain.
There's no way you could put him above.
That's why Pico said agree to disagree.
Yeah,
because there's so many more out there that are probably better.
Now, don't get me wrong.
He's good.
Paulie Dangerously
Really good.
was fun. But don't get me going on
managers and who's better.
Yeah, there was some classics out there. Slick Rick.
Walter says, did you guys get WWE 2K24? Looks good game. Nope.
No.
Picola says he may be in the top 5. Right? Picola, the top 5.
Yeah, I'm sure
Robbie
he could
says,
be.
I bought a car the other day made from wood. What wood would you know it wouldn't start? Picola says, I have Heenan, Classy, Freddie, Blase, JJ Dillon, and Cornette ahead.
Yeah, you got to put JJ Dillon up there. And then you've got other ones, too. I always liked Slick Rick, but he didn't have any real good talent.
Robbie says, so no one from AEW making it on Ellen or Jimmy Fallon for a chat when they are champ?
Maybe MJF could have, if they decided to go that way with it.
People is like, and fertile and free from fatalities. So he says, I have Heenan, Heyman, Cornette, JJ Dillon, and Paul Bearer. Chris says, I feel like Roman title reign. He's basically done after this. How could he not? People says, fancy free agents from Florida fighting fireworks.
What about Jimmy Hart?
So he says,
the mouth of the South.
Where do people rank Zeb Coulter as a manager?
I don't. If he was on my list, he would be 20. I mean, I would obviously have to sit down and make this list, but
People says, I see myself out. What? You'll see your way out? No, you can't go. Chris says, plus Roman might have this lengthy title reign because of his cancer. He may want the title for as long as he can. Sophie says, do you think Roman would go to AEW just for a cameo? No. Robbie says, D. Travis cheers for clearing up my value query. People is like, oh yeah, forgot Paul Bearer. Nice shout. And Chris says, Brian Cage with Rey Mysterio diaper. It's probably because Brian Cage is into cosplay like superhero outfits.
He didn't bring his shank, though.
Plus, we have Ariana Grace, future woman champ. Also, Sol Ruca returned on NXT this week. She looked hotter than I remembered her.
Oh, she's back?
Chris
that
says,
girl is something else. She's fun.
I think I've seen her. Chris has been washed shit human. Great wrestler. LL. Super fucked up, man. Feels is very true. We don't always look past the on-air mess. Chris says, yeah, Becky and Seth wouldn't have been separated in the ring, except now, BS, they're basically fucking in the middle of the ring. Same with Sammy and Tay. Back in the day, those women would be sexy alone. You know, the thing of it is that Becky and Seth don't ever do anything. Like, they've only had him pass in the back maybe a couple of times throughout the whole time, and maybe did those commercial things with them. But that was it. Like, other than that, Becky and Seth, you never see them together anywhere in the WWE.
A lot of guys don't like to be outshadowed by
the man,
the women superstars. And so I could see why Seth wouldn't want to be out there.
Everbless says, was good, people. I just finished playing WWE 2K24. Cool.
Hell yeah, what match were you playing?
Pico says, some athletes bring their personal life right into center stage. Ironically, I bring up the worm, Dennis Rodman.
There you go, wearing a wedding dress and shit.
Chris says, now they parade around with their fucking lame-ass husbands. Back then, stars were always portrayed as single or available. That way fans could think they had a chance with them. Times have changed, though, Chris. Like, times have changed where family means something, and they're trying to portray family, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, portraying family and things. And it's great that they're trying to, you know, keep them together on the same network and stuff, so they don't have to travel so far away for their family and everything. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, and some of these girls, they don't, I mean, Rhea Ripley's with somebody just because they're not in WWE. She's with somebody, but they still have her in a quote-unquote love type of interest with Dominic Mysterio, for fuck's sake. So, I don't know. Hassan Terrell's in the chat. Hey, Hassan says, hi there, guys. I miss you late Monday night. I did enjoy AEW Revolution last Sunday night and WWE NXT Roadblock and WWE 2K24 video game last night. Nice.
Woo-woo.
Robbie says they are both to blame. Piccolo says Rodman was flying back and forth from Vegas parties. He was kicking it with Hogan and the NWO, all while it's NBA season and even during playoffs.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit. They had to send literally Michael Jordan out to get him from Vegas
Not
one
surprising.
time. He said, I needed a couple days off, so they let him.
And then
he was like
back?
4 days later, and they literally sent Michael to get him.
Like,
obviously,
dude.
he's going to bring him home.
Oh, of course.
But
Chris says, same with the women always drooled over Randy Orton, Cena, even Ray back in the day in WCW. But nowadays, the guys can't say that women like Tiffany, Bliss, Liv, Char, Becky, Jade are sexy. Robbie says, what about Roy Jones?
I don't know what he did, but I mean, I know he punched a guy when he was on his knee and lost his title for it, which was kind of weird. It's one of the first pay-per-views I ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy like took a knee on purpose.
Yeah.
And he punched him.
Yeah.
And he lost his title.
Yep.
Which is what happened.
His son says NXT Roxanne Perez and Carmelo Grimes got heel last night.
Roxy's a heel.
Nobody cares about that stupid wench. Hugo says, and Rodman still has 3 rings in Chicago and 2 from Detroit.
Yeah.
Vindicator says it's not a real Wednesday night without ATW all thumbtack wrestling bringing out the little metal spikes. Yeah, they didn't do much though this time. Chris says, yeah, Triple H used to abuse China. Sophie says it looks like you could play a woman on the baseball team in that Road to Show mode or whatever they call that mode.
Maybe.
Chris says Michaels and Hart had their way with Sonny, but Hart always denies it. Yeah, right.
You ready?
No. Are you?
Thumbtack.
Yuck. Chris says that, and Vindicator says my crystal ball, which might resemble a woman that looks like Renee, is telling me that ATW is doing another tournament. Who didn't see that coming?
Well, we knew that was coming.
Retirement home.
Because of the damn.
Yeah, they gave up their stuff.
Tag team titles.
They gave up the titles. They vacated them. Vindicator says nothing more important than La Familia. Surprised Rodman never became a full-time wrestler after leaving B-Ball.
He had other things to do. That dude had a life. And when I say a life, I mean like a crazy life. Mi vida loca shit.
He probably snorted up half his money up his nose.
I don't know if he had to pay for it. But yeah, possibly. That dude was going to like North Korea and hanging out with their president and shit. playing basketball over there for him.
Huh.
People be like, why are you in North Korea? He's like, because they treat me like a god.
Right.
I'm 8 feet taller than the next closest person.
8. That's funny. Vindicator says, I think Rodman's wedding dress made a lot of money during auction. Maybe.
I'm sure. He was something else. I guess he would go to he would get done at basketball games and not even shower and just throw clothes on and go out to clubs and just hook up with the hottest women that you could possibly imagine.
Ew.
Yeah.
Those women really, hopefully, have better confidence now in their lives.
Oh, shit.
That's nasty.
Is that Adam? Oh, God, he missed. I think he was supposed to land on that table.
He landed
Oh,
on
he
the
landed
one
on the
behind.
other one. Okay. Wayne taking a nap. Look out behind you. Just let her go.
Just slap her. It's fine. Pickle is like, Sons of Anarchy pledges back, y'all. Is that who this character is?
That guy had a belly shirt on in the front row.
Ew, what?
Yeah, he was like an old fat guy.
Maybe he got the wrong size shirt.
That was hilarious. His
He's
whole
like-
belly was...
He's like, this is my favorite shirt. I've had it for 20 years. I used to fit in it.
When I was 12. Oh, God. Exit. Oh, he's outside of the stadium. Ah, truck's waiting for him. Oh, God, he just stole somebody's car.
Is there somebody in there?
How slow he's driving.
He all slowed down, waited for him. And here says, Travis, what do you think about Riho versus Statlander coming up tonight?
Oh, Riho is there. Never mind. I eat my words. It's weird. Who's who? Is Riho a heel?
She can't be. She's always so sweet and nice. Feels like, man, I do respect Pledge's diet. I may go vegan for a bit. Sheesh.
Is that what he's doing?
Is that why he looks like a sunken in skeleton face?
Very thin.
So he says, do you think we will see Roman versus Gunther at some point? Vindicator says AEW does babyface versus babyface and heel versus heel matches all the time.
I would assume at some point they will do that match if Roman's still around in a couple years.
Yeah.
What they're probably trying to figure out is what to do with Roman after he drops the title.
Right?
Like, because he can't just wrestle the next week.
True. Were they laughing and he could hear him or something? Did he get grease all over his shirt or something? Creepy.
What's up with the AEW wrestlers when they disappear and they come back? They look homeless. They're all greasy. Doesn't look like he's ever touched a gym in his life. Like, what are you doing outside the company?
Great. Oh. Barf. This makes me want to barf. Vindicator's like, but I was curious, and my only question on this subject, but did Idaho have its primary already? Talking about, but yeah, we had it a while ago. We weren't part of Super Tuesday. We were actually before Super Tuesday. Piccolo says, oh, hey, it's fan appreciative interviews. Oh, wait, that's Kyle O'Reilly. He's your favorite guy, Piccolo. You can't make fun of him. You love him. Piccolo says Adam Cole is on Twitch normally.
Uh-oh.
Chris says...
Important announcement up next after this commercial break.
Chris has played 2K24 Extreme Rules match between Gunther and Hermie. It was a vicious match. There was lots of color.
Which one were you?
Did you play Hermie?
Were you Hermie or were you the other one?
Sophie says, do you think Sting will show back up in some sort of manager role at some point on WWE or AEW TV?
You know, it really depends on why he retired. You know, like, if he wants to still be around the business, but his body just can't handle it, or if he had other plans. But I wouldn't put it past him.
Right. People's like, says who? I don't know. I thought you said it the other day when you saw him. You were so excited. I think you peed a little bit too. People, when he saw Kyle O'Reilly the other day. He was so excited. Walter says Christian Cage stole a car. Chris says, I like O'Reilly in that one match with Finn Balor in NXT. And Vindicator's like, call the cops, Walter. And Walter's like, Vin, I can't. Like, why can't you? You're in Georgia. Fine. He goes like 24-hour rule. You stole it, you own it. That's how it works. I don't think that works for everything. Sophie says, interesting Tony Khan didn't ask TNA or WWE for Sting footage. Why would he? Robbie says, what's Darby going to do without Sting? Who knows?
Jump into glass.
I want to know if he ended up having to
get stitches.
Well, I'm sure he probably had to get some stitches.
You think he's a snitch?
Probably.
Because he had to get stitches?
Yeah. I want to know how he got all the glass out of his back. Because there's no way he didn't have glass embedded in himself, like little pieces of it. Chris says, I flipped between both of them to make the match interesting. Hermes' finisher is actually devastating. It basically like a jumping forearm to the jaw. I have multiple finishers lined up.
Boom. Okay.
Walter says that was a good Adam Copeland fight. And Piccolo says, climb mountains and fall downstairs per usual. That's true. It's about what Darby does. Chris says, I did 2 of those forearms on the floor. It looked so violent, man, and the blood like stays on the ring and on the floor.
Oh, that's cool.
They do blood? That's weird. Vindicator says, Robbie, Darby will call you up and ask you to borrow your windows for more practice. Walter's like, NCAA March Madness. Robbie says, how do you get glass out of your back? Fuck, fine, dude. That's what I want to know, if it even could. Glass, your body doesn't naturally reject it, so it just stays in you.
They could probably.
But it festers and infects, but it doesn't, like, get out of you.
Well, fester would mean.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It just kind of sits in there and gets infected.
Now, your body won't reject glass.
Yeah.
But maybe that glass, since it was weird, will.
I don't think so.
Because it wasn't like a nice, clear sheet of glass. They did that on purpose
know.
for whatever reason. Maybe so fans could see it better when
Maybe.
it shattered. Or maybe it was like a, what's that, tempered glass? So it shattered into pieces like it did?
Yeah, but it still can get in your skin, and it's
well,
still
not
glass.
if it didn't get small enough. That's what tempered glass is about. They melt plastic in between it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, when it breaks, it doesn't kill you in a car accident. So it would just cut you. And I'm wondering if that's what it was.
Right. Chris says, yeah, it looked like UFC. Sophie says, I think they were talking about at one point get rid of Hulk Hogan in the Hall of Fame. And Robbie says,
they did get rid of Hulk Hogan in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they took him out of the Hall of Fame.
For a minute.
Yeah, because they were big baby pants.
They're, again,
morons.
Not the greatest human being, but definitely the greatest performer of all time.
Robbie says plastic surgery. Yeah. Vindicator says, so what's worse, getting glass or splinters stuck in you? Glass. Splinters, your body will naturally try to get rid of wood. But glass, your body doesn't reject it. Your body doesn't try to get rid of it. It just keeps getting, like, it'll just stay sore and gross. And People says, my predictions, Sting opens up a restaurant, only wings and fries, and features the most insane hot sauces. Call it Scorpion Deathlocks. Chris says, Tony Khan ruining Sting retirement speech, LOL.
Just cut it off.
Walter says, the Young Bucks, boo.
Thank you, Sting. Thank you, Sting.
Yeah, but they leave his boots in there. Walter says, okay, bye guys, see you Monday for Raw. Okay, bye Walter. Have fun watching your movie on Friday. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Be safe.
Here comes the losers from Saturday.
Peter says, so I'm canceling my plans to crash through a plexiglass window tomorrow. Probably a good idea. Pico says, bye, Walter. See you on Frizzle Izzle, my shizzle. He's not going to be here Friday, Pico. He's going to go watch a movie. He's going to go see Kung Fu Panda 4.
4.
Pico's like, oh, wait, next Wizzle then. Yeah, the Monday Izzle. I don't know how you would mizzle. Mizzle? The next Mizzle?
How would you say Miz?
No, I meant Monday. How would you?
How would you say Miz?
Mizzle?
Monday Night Raw and
Mizzle,
Miz are the same.
Izzle with the whizzle of Mizzle? I don't know.
Here they come. The greatest tag team in AEW history.
People, do you work in the steez? LOL. Sure. I was rapping earlier. Travis was wondering what I was saying, and I was like, I was just trying out my rapping skills. Because I was talking on the stairs to the cat.
Slim shape.
Sophie says Paul Heyman has been a manager like forever, and most of them end up winning championships when he was managing them.
Yeah, I don't know why Vince kept him around, but that's the one guy he kept around the whole time. All the other managers moved on, and it seemed like Vince didn't really care much for managers.
Right. Vinegar's like, Travis, you excited for my baby Liv to take the fight to Big Mouth Becky on Monday? It's the only time I will be talking with you guys on Raw this year.
Yeah,
sure.
If you're going to be there, I'll be excited.
Robbie says DLL giving Dr. Dre a run for his money. Yeah, sure.
Well, that's not hard to do. Dre wasn't that good. He's just a great beat producer.
Sophie says, do you think if AEW stars do show up on talk shows, would they get the same response as WWE stars?
Well, if they want to get their company big, yeah. I think Jade Cargill could have been great on TV shows.
Robbie's like, LOL, you're hilarious, D. So funny.
Look at these two. Imagine them on Good Morning America.
Ugh, God, no.
Me neither. That's the problem.
They're such twat faces. Seriously. They're such a bunch of twats. I can't stand this.
Cody left because he didn't want to be a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his baby.
Right.
Here it is. Here comes the news. Who are they cutting?
No paper test on. Ouch.
Who are they getting rid of? You're suspended. He's going to be suspended for a week.
That's not why he's not there.
Without the elite, but not the wrestling.
The elite got paid, Tony. The elite got paid. So he can't be part of their group anymore? Oh,
indefinitely.
Bummer. He's got diverticulitis. He's broken. He's out with illness. Robbie says the talk on AEW is so not needed to be long. Oh no, it's dumb. People's like the Bucks may be on Catfish or like late.
They fired Kenny Omega.
Late night. Sophie says you could play as a woman on a male team. Nope, dumb. Chris says, hello, Kenny Omega is out the elite. Chris says Kenny is fired, so he's going to WWE.
No, he's fired from the elite, from their group, not from the company.
I didn't even know he was in their group.
Yeah, it was those 4. They're the elite.
They were still in that group?
No.
Oh. I didn't think they were in that group for like a while now. I'm like, they were in that group?
This dude's a
Are
bum.
these guys retarded?
This dude's like a real bum.
Feels like Kimford Tobias Omega. But why? That one of them has a mole on his chest. He really probably should have that looked at.
Is that what it is? I thought it was a scab from
I guess it could be a
the
scab.
glass fight.
It might be. But it looks like a giant mole. Like, ew. Feels like, ironically, Cutler's still employed. Weird. Might as well do it now, bitch. I've got something to say. He threw money at him. Meh.
He's such a bum.
Piccolo's like herpes. Oh, God. Is it herpes, Piccolo? Ew. Ugh. Did he play with those monkeys in Florida? Ugh. You know he's not supposed to play with those monkeys in Florida.
No.
They've got the herpes.
Why would Eddie act like he's hurt if he got hit down there? Does his vagina have sand in it or something?
Yes, it does. He's like, don't hurt my hat. Vindicator's like, Sophie, I want to play as a man on a women's team. How come that doesn't any love or hyper repetitive discussion? Chris says, Okada. Feels like when in doubt, the Rainmaker.
So is this Okada then? This is the guy? I think I like this guy. I have to wait till I see him.
Kazuchika Okada. Isn't he the one that they said they were bringing? Oh, yeah. The blonde one.
I'm definitely sure I like this guy. I think he's going to be taller than both of the Bucks.
You think?
Well, I just like to see taller people.
You think that he'll be taller than them?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
So their first idea with him, he better be a heel. He better kick Kingston in the face. Thank you.
He's holding back. Ow!
Thank you. And the only reason I say that is because I don't want anybody to be friends with Kingston.
Right.
Okada. All right, I'm okay with this.
Eagle's like, when in doubt, the Rainmaker. Chris is like, Okada turns on Eddie. Fuck yes.
There he is,
Eagle
the newest
says,
member of the Elite.
This place has come unglued. Fans looking zombified in the audience.
There he is.
Sophie
Let it rain.
says, I saw William Regal show up on NXT last night to confront his son. And Chris says, what Okada is Elite? Omega's not happy about that. He's
Well,
not.
they just fired him from the Elite, and now Okada took his
matter. Spot. He's not even there. He's broken with guts all over. I'm starving.
Like Marvin? What do you mean? Raw hamburger that's in the fridge? Oh,
probably is bad. You didn't eat it. You didn't make it.
I know you get mad at me.
You made me make steaks instead. I told you to use it. I told you that last week.
Cool. If it's good, I'll use it.
Sure you will.
And you'll hate it.
I was going to make it yesterday, but you wanted me to make steaks. I was going to make a whole bunch of taco meat with it. Chris says Omega has history with Okada in Japan. Sophie says Spider-Man 2 game is awesome. I got to play as Venom. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Piccolo says, see, that's a beautiful debut.
And that sets up a feud with him and Eddie. So when is this the boss one that's coming up with Sasha? Is that next week? Or is that like later? Do we know?
I don't remember what date that was for
Like
their
the 23rd
Wednesday.
Or something. I don't know what day it is.
They haven't mentioned it again for a while, so.
Big business. There it is.
A week away. Next week.
There it is. Boss time.
Feels like freaking sweet. Robbie's like Dia Chef like Betty Crocker. Chris says this basically like Okada becoming Bullet Club if this was in New Japan. Feels like good job, Codes of Youth.
you having a seizure?
Yeah.
Are you not watching it?
I wasn't paying attention.
He's like,
maybe he was pointing at somebody. So he says, DePaul did manage Brock for what, 17 years or something close to that.
Okada, Ospreay, and Sasha is the answer. Let's see if it works. Will their ratings go up?
No.
Can they hit 1 million one more time?
No.
The boss is going to be there next week. I bet they do.
I'm going to walk away. She
away.
shows up on my TV, I'm walking.
Like,
Feels
do you
like,
want me to
man,
get the
I missed a
treadmill
great
out?
match on Sunday. The Will Ospreay Takeshita one, you did. It was actually pretty good. Travis really liked it. I didn't pay much attention, but Travis really liked it.
The wrong guy won, but that's just because they just brought him in the company.
Right.
Oh, look. Ospreay gets to wrestle again against old Fletcher. Fellow member of the Don Callis family. Meaning Will Ospreay's in that group, so I can take back my answer and put him over Hobbs.
Like if you're talking about when they were in it at a time.
They just said it.
Well, yeah,
his fellow member of.
But he didn't say when. Like he didn't say, well, it's the Don Callis family of today or the Don Callis family overall. Like
yeah, but
nobody
it's of today.
Of whoever was in it. He's not in it now.
He just said he was. They just said his fellow member of the Don Callis family.
Oh.
They're wrestling tonight. His friend, his fellow member of the Don Callis family.
Oh.
They word for word.
So
what they just said.
why did they have them fight each other then?
Because they're friends.
But why would they have them fight each other if they were in the same thing?
That's what he just said.
I don't understand any of this. That's dumb. That doesn't make any sense.
Riho better win this, but I doubt she will.
Sophie says Kenny Omega fired Triple H probably already on the phone. Vindicator says, Riho's so cute with her little sheepish jacket. Phil says, let's face it, no needle movers unless your name is MJF or Crispy Margarita Punk. Chris says, no Timeless Tony tonight. Robbie says, Chris Statlander, oh, she defo, blah, blah, blah. And message.
I wonder when you're that little if you have to buy little kids' clothes.
Sometimes. Might.
She's so little. All right, here we go. Underway. Chris Statlander and Riho, the former world champion.
Travis, I thought small wrestlers are not supposed to beat big wrestlers.
Are you talking about in the men's? Fact. In the women's, it's fine.
Robbie says Chris Statlander, she be going all night long. Oh, cool. He calls like in Japan though, it's normal size for him. Chris says Riho kind of has a dress like what Liv Morgan wore that one time.
Riho? Oh, look at that missile dropkick.
People says hardly have a big and tall section for those Japanese. Sophie says,
Okada.
I'm almost done with Spider-Man 2. I don't know how people could play that for 24 hours. Robbie's like, D, and don't be directing that little closed question to me. Why? I'm sure you have to get your clothes in the toddler area. It's fine.
Say hi to Riho.
It's fine.
She's going to sit on... Oh, no. She's going to pick her up by the throat. Oh, bear hug. She's going to squish the life out of her. Going to pick her up into a vertical suplex.
Riho helping her out by sticking her straight up.
Oh, thought for sure she was going to be her...
Broken on her neck?
No, her leg.
Oh.
Chris didn't go when she was going,
Mm-hmm.
and then she went, so I thought she was going to land on her, like, on herself.
Krista Statlander does have a pretty face, maybe right up there with Becky.
Nobody's up there with Becky.
Bobby's like, LOL, for fuck's sake, D. You're the one that brought it up. I probably would have never said anything, but then you just had to bring up your size and how tiny you are. That you're the same size as poor Riho in here. Getting your clothes out of the toddler section. Jeez, Robbie. Ugh. Stop making fun of yourself. Weird. Piccolo says, give me your quick evaluation. Kairi Sane and Riho. Who has the better wrestling skills? Kairi Sane.
Yes. Kairi's.
I'm going to say Kairi Sane. Sorry, but they're both adorable, though. By any means, both adorable.
Right.
But Kairi Sane is just...
She's a better athlete. She's really cute. And she's also bigger. Stronger.
Not by much, but yeah.
Faster. Yeah. She's the total package, and especially for a little one.
Sophie says, imagine if wrestling was on 24 hours. Pico's like, explain. They're both tidy. Okay, so the reason why I'm guessing you probably don't see a lot, like what Travis said, that Kairi Sane is a little bit bigger than Riho, so she can take on some of those other girls and do her moves on them. Riho has to rely on the other wrestling girls to follow through with the moves that she does. Like, don't get me wrong, for AEW, I'm totally an advocate for Riho. Like, she's probably one of my favorites when it comes to AEW. I liked her as a champion. I thought it was great. But I'm a big, huge anime fan, and so she reminds me of anime characters. And so that's probably a lot of the reason why.
The true fact is that Kairi Sane has not one of, the best elbow drop, arguably since Randy Savage.
That thing is just chef's kiss. Like, her elbow drop is just so beautiful.
There's no one that can even get close to it.
Not even the men.
First of all, that's why I said in wrestling right now, and it's because she jumps. Most women fall off the top rope, like what's her name, the champion, Io Sky. When she comes off the top rope, she falls backwards. Alexa Bliss used to do it. They have this weird, let me fall off the top. Stratton jumps, but she doesn't do an elbow drop. She could probably pull it off.
Yeah,
Bayley tries it, but she jumps straight out. Kairi goes up, and then it's just like this beautiful work of art while she's in the air. The athleticism, it just oozes out of her. She hits the perfect elbow drop. That's true. That's why I like her, is because of her elbow, and cute as fuck, but it's her elbow drop. And there's other wrestling moves that she does, but I'm just saying her elbow drop is dominant. Then they put her in the stupid tag team with Asuka, and they got rid of it.
She does it every once in a while, but not very often.
Well, they do it on a knee, so it's not the same. She can't be as graceful because she's not going to land where she needs to if she hit it right. Mm-hmm. It's like, why would you get rid of her best asset?
Sophie says, imagine if wrestling was on 24. People said, explain. We did. Ravi says, they are both tidy. Chris says, wonder if Jamie Hayter is ready to come back. I don't know. Ravi says, I'm choosing Mia Yim over both. Laughing. Yeah, that's some funny shit right there. Who Jamie Hayter? She was the one that was under Britt Baker, and then she became the champion. She's the one that was kind of thick.
Oh, yeah, she's kind of from Ireland.
She used to be, fat, and then she got skinny.
Yeah, I know who she is. She was champion for a minute.
Yeah, she was champion for a minute. You see the value? Great value, isn't it? So good value.
There's another champion that disappeared.
That value is so great in AEW. They value their champions so much.
Don't make
hilarious.
Fun of the value.
Don't make fun of the value. People's like above and beyond miles difference. Oh, totally. Like, totally different. Like, and I'm not saying that Riho doesn't have moves. She does. If you put her in there with a person who was like her size, it would probably be phenomenal if the other wrestler was good and could do the moves too. Mm-hmm. But most of her opponents are way bigger than her, so she has to rely on them processing the momentum in order for her moves to work.
To look good. There's a lot of dependency on the other professional wrestler in the ring with her.
Chris says, yeah,
Oh,
last
shit.
night on NXT, Kabuki Warriors faced Tatum, Paxley, and the NXT champ Liar Valkyrie. Huh? Ravi says, Bailey does a better elbow drop. No, she doesn't, Ravi.
No.
Bailey doesn't do a better elbow drop. Bailey's elbow drop is okay, but it's like very like...
It's uncoordinated.
Thick.
You've got to... If you haven't seen it, go watch Kyrie drop one. Like, it's amazing. Like, the athleticism, it just oozes out of her when she's in the air.
Yeah. Vinegar says, I thought Kyrie was the riffraff now joining up with Damage Control. Of course she's riffraff. She's part of the Kabuki Warriors, but that doesn't make it so she's terrible. She's still Kyrie Sane.
There's nothing wrong with Asuka.
Sophie says,
and there's definitely nothing wrong with Kyrie. It's the other two in that
Sky
group
and Dakota Kai
were the riffraff.
Sophie says Ring of Honor is still a thing, huh? Why? Because it is?
It's just like NXT.
Kiko says Ravi smoking that good, right? Chris says Waller has a stupid elbow drop. He tries to pretend he's doing a slam dunk.
Nope. She kicked out. I thought she had her right there.
Then hits elbow drop like, fuck off, Grayson. Sophie says the Mean Girls remake is now on Paramount Plus. It's a musical, if anybody wants to know, just in case you're thinking of watching it. It's a musical.
I thought about watching it.
If you don't like musicals, you probably won't want to watch it. I like musicals, but that one I'm not watching. Like, I refuse. No. Vindicator says, why is NXT still a thing? Huh? Why? Oh, well, because it's their, brand where they grow their opponent, their people. Why wouldn't it be? People's like, blah, ha, ha, ha. So it was like, have you noticed the big 5 pay-per-views in WWE take place in America while the B-level pay-per-views are going international? Vindicator says, fans are more fired up for the Stat versus Riho match than I expected. Sophie says, do you think we will see Cody Rhodes' wife show up on WWE TV?
Possibly.
I mean, you could, but there's not a necessity for it.
It really depends on how she was with Triple H.
P-Hole says, yeah, WWE just spotlights the women so better. Chris says Kai is hot, though, so she gets a pass for being the riffraff. Robbie says, nah, man, don't know why there is the disrespect for Bayley. She is the first Grand Slam champion. Not talking about that Bayley is a bad wrestler. I'm talking about that her elbow drop isn't better than Kairi Sane's.
Bayley's the best in-ring performer.
You're saying she does a better elbow drop. She doesn't. That's one move she does not do better. Sorry, but she doesn't. She falls like the rest of them do. She's not athletic in it at all. Like, it's sad and pathetic. But I'm not saying that takes away from Bayley being a really good women's wrestler. She did it. Riho won.
Like I said,
she does those funny fluke roll-ups all the time, though. It's funny.
See, and Statlander had a chance to cheat. She had the chain in her hand. He gave it to her, and she
should have used the chain.
But she threw it down.
Yeah. Vindicator's like, Io in her last NXT match against Rock Rod did a moonsault from the top of the skull structure that was 20 foot high. She is greatly underestimated. 1, she didn't jump. She fell off. And 2, she botched it as she was doing it. Io Sky in the NXT match against Rock Rod.
She's not very good.
Vindicator's like, I like both ladies here, but congrats to Riho.
I do like when Io Sky... Like, I don't just hate Io Sky.
No.
I just don't think she's anywhere near as good as people talk about.
No.
Because I've seen her wrestle now.
That's what I mean. Like...
But when she was in that weird cage match that they had and she put the garbage can on her and just fell off into all those women, that was great. I thought that was one of my...
it was cool that she did it from that high up. Yeah. But she didn't jump off the fucking thing.
Oh,
she just fucking fell off of it. Now, if you're really going to be doing shit, you're going to be jumping your ass off that. There's no falling off of it.
To jump off of.
You don't just fall. Like, that's not athletic or cool. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, she put a garbage can on her face and fell off there.
Hey, look, it's Toni Storm. I know somebody said something about her. That's not her. She's like an upgrade.
Jesus.
Paquette.
Oh, looks smart. It's award season.
It's award season, Paquette. That's her name. She's called her by her last name.
Sophie says Bad Boys 4 is coming in June. I think I only saw the first 2 Bad Boys films.
Me too. I haven't seen the third one. They're making another one?
Fuel says, wait, just seen that guy with half a shirt, Trav. Oh no,
Yeah.
not the half a shirt guy. Vindicator says they might be setting up Riho versus Julia for TBS title, Battle of the Tiniest Women in AEW. I like it. LOL.
Get it done.
Chris says, yeah, Bailey elbow drop like a dude. She kind of does, dude. It's like, just bleh.
Well,
Sophie says, let's see if a fan brings a Die Rocky sign to this week's SmackDown so Fox could censor it again. Chris says an NXT EO Sky is better than the new EO.
Yeah, I never watched that one.
Pico says, haha, jump scare on Renee. Robbie says, nah, I prefer Bailey's. It's more realistic. Plus, it's a tribute to Randy Savage. Sophie says, I think AEW TV deal expires this year. Vindicator says, it was funny how Mariah dressed up like old school Tony Storm at Revolution.
But you could tell it was her because she looked more womanly.
Pico says, Chris, the threesome with old Tony and Timeless Tony dream scenario. Chris says, LO, Tony was like later to Mariah May. They were going to kiss. Sophie's like, I can't wait for the new X-Men cartoon to come in a couple weeks.
You know, I've never watched a superhero cartoon. Kind of cool. So cool.
I don't know. What story will it be?
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, Ravi, I really don't feel that Bailey's is more realistic, if that's what you're trying to go for, but whatever. Like, it's a move that she could just not do and be totally fine. Like, she could take it completely out of her wrestling moves, and it wouldn't hurt her at all. That's what I'm saying. Kairi Sane's is different. Like, that's her thing. And she does it really well.
I've watched that. She was making fun of a horse because his dick was out the whole time.
What?
There was a horse on there doing tricks, but his dick was out.
Yeah, they just showed him. He was rearing, and his dick was just like... Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop.
Did they show the dick, or they...
No, they showed it.
Oh, they had it
But it was
blacked out.
quick, so they probably...
They had it blurred on the...
They're like, how dare you show an animal penis?
She's like, it's the same prosthetic that Mark Wahlberg were used on Boogie Nights.
She sometimes comes up with some pretty funny lines. She is a comedian, so
Right.
I mean, sometimes she is funny. Sophie says, if Owen Hart didn't die in 99, who knows what that affected everything. They finished filming Bad Boys 4 like yesterday. Feels as X-Men and Batman, the animated series, were my jam in the 1900s. Robbie's like, Billy was the one that did it first. It's others that copied, but hey ho. Whatever. Don't even try your crap with Bailey being the first woman to do an elbow drop. Robbie's like, when is your gal Saraya going to be on TV? I don't know. When her butt comes back where it belongs? I don't fucking know, dude. Vindicator's like, well, I like Willow, but I expected Mercedes Moné to have a match at Big Business.
I don't know if she'll have a match. I think we're going to see something like we just saw. I wouldn't be surprised if Britt Baker was back and they bring her out to feud.
I know, buddy. I'm sorry. Oh, God.
Mom hates you.
I don't. I just can't. I feel like I have restless leg syndrome. When he sits on my legs like that, I've been sitting all day, and so it just sitting here makes it even worse.
Hey! Darby the house elf. Here he comes.
And Sophie's like, how has AEW been? It's been a normal AEW.
It's been okay. Okada showed up.
I feel like it's going slow, though.
Really?
It's only 7:30. I feel like it should be over by now. Vindicator says Darby spitting water instead of glass. Should he not? Well, they got rid of the thing, so why is he carrying a thing around with him? A belt.
Maybe he's going to announce the tournament.
Oh.
Next week, he's going up against Jay White.
Hey, why don't you go lay on Dad for a minute? Can you just go lay on Dad for a minute?
No, he doesn't want to lay on Dad.
Can you be with Dad for just a minute? Please?
Let me stuff the hole, because that's what he doesn't like. There you go. There you go. I stuffed the hole. Just another day. I was without Sting for 30 years. Sure, he'll do okay.
Right. Robbie says Ella Saray is just a waste of time in wrestling, isn't she? What's she really done leaving WWE? I know her neck is bad, but still. Sophie says at least WWE 2K20 isn't now being called the worst wrestling game. Now that distinction belongs to AEW Fight Forever. And
Is it pretty glitchy, too?
Robbie says Darby, God knows how his body is still working. Vindicator's like, nah, keep Monet away from Dr. Faker. That would be a trash match that even Mercedes couldn't save. Sophie says, I tried playing AEW Fight Forever. It was boring to play. Jill says, whimpers. We miss you already, Stinger. Sophie says, what are they going to do with Ric Flair without Sting being there? Feels like wheels on the cogs. They'll go round and round. Vindicator says, Sir Leopold Cat and Lady Delete the Human will be cuddle buddies for life. Just sits on my lap. They can't move, and it's awkward. I don't like it. Oh God, is he crying?
Yeah. There it is. Who's coming out? Oh, just Jay White. They kind of dropped the ball on Jay White, so hopefully they can.
Rob is like, what I miss is D shouting, it's Sting. Chris says, wow, Darby kind of talking like a goodbye message. People have died climbing Mount Everest. Vindicator's like, Sir Leopold furriness might be muffling your voice a bit, though. It is. I've got his body on my mic. Pickle says, bang, bang, tang thing in that thing. A dingle dangle dingle. A dangle dingle dangle dingle dingle. A dingley dangley dang dang. And the old dingly dangle.
Old dingling was dangling. Maybe they should stop telling us what the fuck's gonna happen next week. So this was a surprise. Wouldn't it have been better? They told us this was happening next week, but instead of doing that, let Jay White come out, get in his face, and then afterwards say, they're going to wrestle next week. That would be way cooler, right? Instead of just telling us what's going to happen.
They already told us what's happening.
Now they're doing it again.
Rob is like, Darby emotional tonight, and Vindicator says nice to see them trying to make Switchblade relevant again.
I know, they should have never dropped the ball on him.
You're gonna leave? Go sit with Dad.
Why are you dropping my mic? Your mic dropping it?
Dad's lap. Go stay on Dad's lap for a minute. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Why can't you just be on his lap?
Because you're here.
Oh my God. He's like, Mom, there's a hole here. I hate it.
He sleeps on my lap all day. But during the show, it's your time.
Whatever. Anytime I'm here, it's my time.
I said it's your cat.
He's like, I have to deal with Dad all day. Ugh. Now you're here, Bob. You're not my cat. You're everybody's cat. You like everybody. And Tony's here. He's Tony's cat. He goes like, wait, I still don't get it. I thought Jay White was bigger. He's not. That's the problem. You guys, like, it's so funny. You're like, oh man, he's so big. It's like, he's tiny. He's not that much bigger than Darby. Robbie's like, you guys should get a mic and put it in the middle of the table. Then it will pick up both of yous.
Yeah, but then you'd see it. And I thought about that. Because I do have one. It's in here. But I don't know.
Should we suspend him from the ceiling and just pull him down and be like, let's get ready to rumble!
No.
Come on. Can't do that. Why? Bill says he's the same size as Darby. Vindicator says, I will do that before my next public speaking stadium event. Instead of testing 1, 2, 3, I will say, dingle, dangle, doogle. Dooney Lumu says, big news, Xi Jinping is all elite. Who's that? Ravi says, your laptop will cover it. Brandon's in the chat, says, hey, Wrestling Gab. Hey, Brandon. And Vindicator says, but this show went by fast. Only 20 minutes left. Who are you marrying tonight, Brandon? I know. Riho? Chris Statlander? Willow? I haven't seen a lot of women. Ew, he's so mean.
Believe the hype. You got him next week.
People's like, let's go! Right?
Jay White's super upset.
He's so upset he's crying about it. I can see it.
Darby's got some scars on his body, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. That one was bad.
Yeah.
Vindicator says Travis Sky Blue is even more intoxicating as a goth chick. Feels like Darby's still my dude, even though he's an idiot. It's Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay as our main event tonight, huh?
Yeah. It's not Julia Hart.
Ah! Ow. Sorry, I had a sharp pain. Stab me. A stabby pain. I was like, D going to be testing the mics for all to listen or listers. All to A-listers. Or all to
Everybody, the king see that dough. What'd they say? She basically got the same car, but bigger.
So her car was the same, but her boyfriend was updated.
Yeah. Lighten your hair 9 levels.
Because if I fall about half the Oscar Big Picture nominations, Hi. Oh, says I really didn't care for Poor Things. It's totally out of pocket. I don't even know what it's about. I've seen it fly across a couple things that we have, but I don't know what it's about.
Moon Pod.
He's like, no. Licky lickies. Robbie's like, so no Mox tonight? I guess not.
Yeah. We finished Reacher, by the way, if anybody cares.
Yeah, do you care?
They're like, Julia, we know you just did a promo, but we need you to do another one right after the one you just did.
We need you to hang out with us. Robbie's like, what happened to Wardlow? He's hanging out with that weird group with Adam Cole, your guys' favorite, whatever those rejects are. He's now part of them instead. Nicole is like, also last night I went back to watch an old show I really liked back in the 2000s. Like a show, like a TV show. What was it? Freebie has all the seasons of The Dead Zone. Oh my god, The Dead Zone. Huh. What about the fire?
Oh, God. Ooh.
Chilling.
What the fuck?
Robbie says, Bertha really moving with demands. LOL. Yeah, so. Got Florida man out here.
I don't know what this is. Is he from the Bayou? Good to see him back. I've literally met people like this guy.
I know, and like I know he's playing a part, but like he's like real people, like that we know, which is even more gross and weird. It feels like Anthony Muckahall, except from a 6-year coma, now he has clairvoyant powers. Yep, I know which one you're talking about. That's a good one. I forget about that one. I like that one. I should put it on the list.
What is it?
The Dead Zone.
Like the Twilight Zone, but it's dead?
No, it's The Dead Zone. It's Anthony Michael Hall.
From...
He's older.
Yeah, I know.
And he wakes up from a coma, and then he has clairvoyant power. Kind of cool. I actually like that show.
Is it a series?
Yes, it's a TV series. Ravi says AEW, they really go all in for their fans. Peel says, I bet you didn't see the Collision Trav last weekend. He didn't watch it.
No.
No Collision.
I haven't watched NXT or Collision forever.
Chris
I don't
says,
have a
Will
DVR
Ospreay versus
anymore.
Okada. Peel says, but Mark Briscoe was fighting the House of Black all by himself practically. Chris says, Will Ospreay versus Kyle somebody tonight.
Fletcher. Best friends.
Robbie says, never heard of Anthony Michael Hall. Can't lie. Anthony Michael Hall, have you ever seen 16 Candles? Have you ever seen
Weird
The Breakfast
Science?
Club? Have you ever seen Weird Science? I was getting there. Maybe I'm such a freak.
That's the one.
Oh my god, he's in the other two as main characters as well. Weirdo.
Breakfast Club. He's
Chris
the
says
nerd.
if Ospreay gets more momentum, he will be bigger than Omega. Eagle says he was trying to set Buddy Matthews on fire. What? I was like, no DVR. Wow. With the pyro remote, he was the dorky teen. Yes. Chris says Kyle Fletcher was Ospreay's tag partner in United Empire. So I don't know why they are fighting each other. Ravi says, yeah, weird science. Yeah, I've seen that. Well, the blonde kid in that, not the dark-haired one, but the blonde one, that's
one.
Anthony Michael Hall.
The one that's been in anything else.
You may not have heard of him, but you know him in that movie. Congratulations. Are you going to flop yourself into a little ball right there? Fabulous, buddy.
They should have interviewed him before he came out to the ring.
Oh, these are the guys that hugged. That's right. What the fuck is this? He's the ROH champion guy. I was like, big up, DLO. Oh, is that the lad? Yeah, you freaking weirdo Brit. That's the lad. The billionaire whisperer.
Woo! It looks like a chicken. Like those rubber chickens. Like those legs that just stick out.
What?
Rubber chicken.
I don't know why he's doing it. It's weirdo.
All right. Well, this match is underway.
I don't want to hang out with my arms like a freak. He's like, no, I don't. Go lay down and dance lap. He's like, no, you're going to move so your lap's better. I'm going to totally get there.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, Piccolo says this is way better than main event than any Garcia hook or other asshats. True that. I'm not saying anything about that. Ravi says, oh, do you always have to mock the way I speak? Why not?
Oh,
you probably mock the way I speak.
He even laid down for a second.
He lays down and it feels like I have restless leg syndrome. Like right here, it just feels like I don't know how to explain it. The feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like my circulation's getting cut off or some shit. It's like, dude. Chris says Ospreay versus Braun Breaker, both of them are fast. I was like, I would never mock another man's accent. I'm not a man, so that's why you mock it. Jerk. No.
What the hell's that?
What?
Uncalled for yawn.
Yawn? Let's say yawn. I have a headache.
This is an 8-star match.
I'm hungry. It's a very terrible combination of things happening.
Yeah. Terrible.
Robbie's like, I was generalizing when I said man. Oh, were you?
Like a human.
Do I look like I have a penis in my pants?
You look happiness.
Chris says, okay, I'm probably going to play 2K24 now. This is BS friendly competition. Yeah, I get it.
They'll shake each other's hand.
They're going to, like, hug it out later. It's fine. Vindicator's like, these wrestler and companies are such puppets to their sponsors. So eager to jump to Pip even during a main event with world-class talent. Bugler says, I had devoured my crinkle cuts and 2 slices of leftover pizza. Nice. You had crinkle cut fries and pizza? Interesting. Robbie says, D, I'm surprised that you didn't eat during the show. I didn't have anything to eat.
You ate.
What did I eat? I had some chocolate.
I
had five pieces of chocolate. That's it. That's not food. That's shit. That's just garbage.
Aquaman 2.
Google's like, yep, it's me, 12-year-old Laces. Oh, no. I thought it was chicken nuggets you had. So, I'm like on this, 9-year-old part. So there you go. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, my favorite thing to eat, and snack-wise, is a Totino's pizza, which is a cheap-ass pizza, and tater tots. My favorite to eat together of all times. Love that shit. So.
Good shit.
Chris has a wonder if Timeless Tony and Mariah May are back at the hotel scissoring yet. Ew. Chris. No, ew. Get away from me with your sickness.
That's what you do. Scissor.
Kiko says in a tall glass of Sunny D. Well, there you go. Rob is like, could have given Travis a bell to fix you up something before you came home. Yeah, that's hilarious, Robbie. That's funny. Travis fixed food for me. Vindicator's like, as long as you pace yourself, D, you won't get any cavities. Who knows? I already broke a tooth, so, there's that. Pico's like, perfect. We think alike. Well, besides the fries, I actually like tater tots with my pizza more so. And then I make fry sauce, so there's that. And that's why I like Totino's pizza, because it doesn't.
Is there a reason that you're just going off about food?
Yeah, because I'm hungry. I already told you fucking
that. How does that make it easier?
It doesn't. But I can't stop thinking about it.
Think elephant.
You think of an elephant. Let me eat it. Let me eat the fucking elephant.
You make a wallet out of it for you.
It's a goddamn pink elephant. It probably tastes like fucking bubble gum. Or strawberry milkshakes.
That's where they get it from.
I was like, perfect with you. Like, Rob was like, go on, D, with the cheat day meal. I wasn't laughing, D. I was just thinking of you. Oh, sure you were. You were laughing at me. I know it. It's fine. Feels like, yeah, I had mixed some Thousand Island Barbie sauce and that Hatch chili sauce mixed together. Interesting thing to have. I just make gross sour fry sauce. It's just mayo and ketchup and a little bit of mustard. I am going to try a little Worcestershire sauce in it one time, though.
What
and
is
see
it?
if that does anything different to it.
Fry sauce?
Yeah, a fry sauce.
Go get some fries.
Where are we going to get fries from? Do we have any fries?
So, there's one bag downstairs.
Your frozen fries?
That's what I just said. There's one bag down there. Pretty sure.
Huh.
Remember we had the two and you wanted the waffle one?
Oh, yeah. He goes like, oops, sorry. Why sorry? Travis just likes to complain about me talking about food. I was like, is that Mary Rose sauce? I don't know. What the fuck is that, dude?
I think
My world, it's called fry sauce, bitch. I don't know what yours is called. Feels like I finally did the fresh cut fries right, but it's too much of a hassle preparing it. Oh, it is, dude. Like, there is definitely not like, ooh, yay, this is quick. It's not quick. Not quick. But you do have an air fryer, so they might be quick in an air fryer. Dione Lumu back in the chat says big news. Xi Jinping is all elite. I don't know who that is.
It's not a real person. They're being funny.
Oh, okay.
Basically saying a Japanese person.
Okay.
That's why they're saying that.
But why are they saying XI?
Why do you do what you do? Tell her. She's wondering.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I know you guys are like excited about this shit, but why is this so fucking slow? Like, is this normal? Is this indie stuff? Is this what you guys like in indie stuff? Is this the slow shit you guys are like, this is so amazing? Look at them do their thing. They do a move and then they're like, look at me. I did a move. Worship my moves. And moveness.
Did you like the move? Everybody cheer for my move.
I don't know.
Back kick.
People's like, contraire. It is the dumbass indie things. I don't know. Is it? I don't know what this is. That's a question I'm having. Is this the indie stuff? Like, that is so popular that
DDT.
people are like, this is amazing.
Probably broke his head.
Maybe if you wait 5 minutes, something else might happen.
See the guy in the corner with his belly shirt.
Oh, God.
See him?
Oh,
he ducked it.
He didn't get his finisher in.
Oh, he sat down.
Oh, my God. I just don't understand the waiting.
That's the indie
I'm
style.
going to do a move and then, oh, God, by the way, we have to wait 12 minutes between. I don't understand. I don't understand why this is cool.
The crowd's chanting, this is awesome. It's like, you don't want to see the wrestling?
They're like, this is so great. You guys taking a nap on the floor. Like, what?
Will Ospreay, Daniel Bryan, bring it.
Feels like, I wish I had that belly shirt in neon pink. Stands out more. Do you want us to find one for you and send it to you?
There's a guy in a pink hat right next
I'll
to him.
totally do it. Vindicator's like, I got a bad feeling this match will end in a DQ.
Yeah, and over, because they're going to go over. Because it was the 30-minute time limit. Oh, God.
Does he do that before every move?
I didn't see what he did.
He puts his arms straight up in the air together and, like, smacks them together, like, in a triangle thing above his head.
Yeah, it's like the Kenny Omega does stuff like that, too.
Is that a thing?
In the indies, it is.
Oh, God. What the fuck was that?
Pulling that out.
Went flying?
Probably a hair.
Oh, it was like a chunk. Feels like, did anyone answer why Sammy G is suspended? No, nobody did. Nobody gave us answers. They just come in, they say shit, and then they leave. They're like, here's some information with no context. Thank you so much. You know, I get my news from you guys. I don't look at shit anywhere else. Rob is like, AEW, any more pay-per-views? Yeah, they're having one next month.
Touch his nose and you started doing that. So it, like, bounced off of his nose. It's like, something touched me.
I told you. It makes my legs feel weird. I don't like it. Hugo says it had to do with concussion protocol, and Jeff Hardy was not supposed to continue in the match. So he got suspended because...
Oh, from the knee drop on his face, on
Jeff Hardy's
face.
Oh.
That's weird. Yeah, he knocked him out. When he did his move, he hit him with a knee right in the face.
Oh. Roy says, LOD, you know more wrestling news than most. And Pico's like, but dummy Sammy went ahead and did his go-to-sleep finisher anyway.
Yeah, and then Matt Hardy was trying to fight him after the match. I forgot about that.
Okay, I'm confused.
So the match should have just ended.
If he did his move on him, and his move is the sleep finisher anyways, but the guy had a concussion before.
No, he got the concussion from the knee. So Sami Zayn did that backflip off the top and kneed him in the face. Landed on his head.
Okay, and
then did his finisher, and so he got a concussion, but then he went along with...
Oh, okay, so that wasn't his finisher. The flipping and back knee whatever thing's not the finisher.
No, I don't know what his finisher is. Did he say it?
Sleep finisher. Go to sleep finisher.
I think that's the...
It's been so long since he's wrestled, dude. I can't remember any of his moves. I'm so sorry. Everbless says, bye, everyone. Have a good night. See you Friday. Okay, bye, Everbless. Have fun playing wrestling. He goes, says, someone was talking to the ref via earpiece. Like, bro, stop the match. Let Sammy pin him. So, why did he get suspended if the ref is the one that's supposed to stop everything? Like, shouldn't the ref have been over there whispering in his ear saying, you gotta stop the match and just pin him in a weird pin? and be done.
Yes, that's what should have happened.
So the ref should have been fucking suspended too. He should be fucking suspended.
He should be.
Why isn't he not suspended?
He should be on top of his game. People's lives are at risk.
Robbie's like, you ever seen the show after Dynamite? No. No, Robbie.
Is it still on?
They still do that? I have no idea. I thought it was gone, dude. I don't know. He was like, I don't know. This is AEW, you know, the chicanery. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know he got suspended. I didn't even know that happened. Was that on an AEW Dynamite? That match?
Yes, we watched it. Yeah.
We did? We watched him kick him?
Well, he didn't kick him. He landed on his face with his knee. It's probably this exact move you're going to see, right? Oh, wait, no.
Oh, that guy got up and then kicked him, pushed him.
Well,
I was like, I was asking you if you knew. I never seen it.
I did.
Probably, I assume you watched it because you're asking. I never watched that shit. I was like, these refs get away with a lot. Do they?
Avalanche Dragons?
Avalanche Dragons? Oh, God. He landed on his feet. They're going over, and I hate it.
Of course they're going over. Has a 30-minute time limit.
I was like, yeah, they do. Sorry, Kitty, but you're annoying.
So my question is, and this is an honest question, if you're bringing in a guy, and he's supposed to be a decent guy, right? Like, people know who he is. He's kind of a big deal.
Right.
Why the fuck do you have him wrestle somebody that no one knows?
The Kyle Fletcher guy?
For over 15, 20, 30 minutes. He should have won this match in 7 minutes, maybe. Dominated, and then moved forward.
Because he's an ROH champion. Why didn't he?
My point is this is dumb. This is dumb. This is bad booking. And if you didn't want that to happen, don't have him wrestle his buddy. Have him wrestle somebody else.
Buddies.
Have him wrestle the guys that Wardlow wrestles, for fuck's sakes.
So that Kyle Fletcher has like really creepy like coloring when he does a whole bunch of moves. His face looks gross.
My lord.
No, I mean it looks like he's sick. That kind of gross. Not like, oh, he's got an ugly face. He might have an ugly face. I don't know. I haven't paid that much attention. I was just looking at his coloring. Like his face is all purpley and weird. Maybe it's the hair color. I don't know.
Purple nurple.
Vindicator's like, yeah, Will Ospreay is no Minuteman, LOL. And Robbie says, how many times have you seen the ref botch F up counts and not see something so blatant?
3 times.
Oh, probably multiple times. I just don't pay that much attention. Vindicator says, Kyle Fletcher is a part of Callis family. People know who he is.
No, they don't.
Picola says, should have a squash match.
Nobody knows who he is.
Word 789 in the chat says, how do y'all feel about Seth Rollins' diarrhea Dwayne? It sounds like a 12-year-old came up with it.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that's...
Pickle's like, yeah, the bleach blonde doesn't help. Is that what it is? Maybe it's just his hair that makes him look weird. It makes him look like he's got... Look at his face.
Like it's all purple. Yeah, with exhaustion.
Like his face looks gross. Like he looks like he has a heart problem. You know who he looks like? He looks like Ric Flair. And Ric Flair has a heart problem. His skin color...
I heard Ric Flair. I had to boo.
Yeah. Vindicator says, gotta give Kyle credit, though. He gets paid just like Ospreay, so no reason for him to roll over for him.
He gets paid as much as Ospreay?
Well, that doesn't say much about Will Ospreay, then.
What the fuck's wrong with Tony Khan? There's no way he makes that kind of money.
Maybe he means he gets paid.
Like he has a paycheck?
Like he gets paid, right.
Yeah, but the point is you have to put your talent over. This is making him look like a mid-carder.
I thought this guy was supposed to be fucking good.
If you want somebody to come off as a good fucking wrestler, you have to put him out there as a good wrestler.
Vindicator's like, no, Ospreay makes more money, but I'm saying Kyle gets paid too. By the second? By the minute? Does he get paid by the time? I'm kidding. I don't know. Rob is like, Tony Khan got his favorite whites.
Now they're dancing. Nobody likes dancing.
This is a fight, motherfuckers. It's not a dance fight. Vindicator says, but all the top guys can't wrestle each other every week or it would be repetitive and boring.
Exactly. So you put him in there against lesser talent, which he is, and have him win quickly so he looks good. This makes him look bad.
Rob's like, people get to where they are regardless of talent.
Yeah. Good win, Ospreay. Now you look like a mid-carder. Congratulations. That's just bad booking. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Hey, Roman, we're going to put you in there with fucking Chad Gable. But make the match last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Said no one.
Kiko says, the Marks don't see it that way. They think it's a dream match. I know, right? I don't understand it personally. Like, not only did they make their ROH champion look like poo-poo by doing this, but they made Will Ospreay look like douchebag.
Hey, what did I say? It's Daniel.
Oh, God, no.
After wrestling all slow and shit, I'm like, nothing needs to bring out Daniel. They did.
Oh, my God, no.
There you go.
I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
So he just went 5 minutes with nobody. And now he's going to wrestle a guy that likes to wrestle for an hour.
Oh, God, no. Somebody save me.
We're in for a fucking treat with this feud.
This is a dream match. This is a dream. Peter says, well, McDanielson arrival is definitely my time to bid farewell. You guys take care and see you for 10 minutes on Monday. I don't know. Bye-bye.
We will be here.
People says McDanielson, the party crasher. All right, everybody, that's the end of AEW Dynamite. There wasn't really too much of a fallout from their pay-per-view this last weekend, by the way, so there's that. We'll be back again on Friday to watch SmackDown. You guys should join us then. We'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Until Friday.